Margin for the Suns noticeably absent today. Dragan Bender not starting. He will not play today. He has a tweaked ankle. And Minnesota with their regular five. And we are underway. Jones up court for the Timberwolves, who come in at 3-3.
Maybe some hurt feelings for Bender too, as he missed 2 free throws yesterday.
At the end of regulation?
At the end of regulation. That really set it up for Tyler Ulis.
Yeah.
Tyler appreciated it, got a chance to be the hero.
And the overtime games here, just 2 minutes, so got to make very good use of your possessions. Goes quickly. Off the miss, back comes Williams for the Suns.
Well, Tyus Jones played in only 37 games last year for Minnesota, but he did play in the last 26. He was in the rotation, so he has a little bit of comfort level. And I think they're impressed with him as you've got Ricky Rubio. I don't think that's going to count.
Yeah, a little bit of a crowded backcourt there for Minnesota as we look at Jones.
And then Chris Dunn, who, if you ask people around here who was the best player in this summer league, a lot of people would say Chris Dunn. He averaged 24 a game, just played in 2 games, had a concussion. He's in the concussion protocol system, so they're going to shut him down. But very impressive, and boy, does this Minnesota team have a great upside.
Yeah. Coach Tom Thibodeau courtside watching his young Timberwolves summer league team. He's going to be joining us a little bit later. Here's Jones down court.
$50 million for Tom Thibodeau to run everything. Brought Scott Layden in with him.
Yeah, they've redone the management structure. Bucket good, and the Timberwolves on the board first. Thomas with the bucket. Pardon me, Silas with the bucket. Kyle Kuric from downtown. And
good look at Stroh.
Boy, Kyle Kuric just getting back onto the basketball court is one of the most compelling comeback stories in all of sports this year. Whistle and a foul called on Williams. Kuric played this past year in the Canary Islands in the Spanish League, the ACB, JB. Midway through the year, he was having headaches. Went to the hospital one day, spent almost 2 days in a coma. They discovered a tumor. They removed the tumor subsequent to that. And in a month and a half, about 90 days, almost 2 months later, 3 months later, he was back on the basketball court, and now he's a free agent looking for a gig here in the NBA.
Well, when he came off that screen, I thought it was Devin Booker, the great young shooter from the Phoenix Suns, who was in the three-point contest last year and has a huge upside. He's going to be great. But what a great story from Kuric. I remember him from Louisville. Yeah. What an unbelievable athlete, too, right?
Great
he can get up. He can get up and
got a lot of bounce.
Yeah.
And playing in the ACB, he feels prepared him for the stage here. Payne a little bit strong, rebounded by Williams.
I think Payne has an excellent opportunity to break into this rotation as well. A stretch 4, you can see already he's pretty comfortable shooting the ball with distance.
Ulis from the baseline a little bit short. Rebounded by the Suns. That was Brown with the board, and Williams misfiring from deep. And Minnesota with a lot of youth on their roster. The problem with young talent, JB, is that it rarely wins with consistency in the NBA.
No, not a lot of veteran guys around there, but I'm so impressed with what they have. Nice little lob pass there.
Alan Williams with the bucket
to finish. I love Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's a star already. They've got Pekovic coming back, signed Cole Aldridge. They've got Gorgie Jang. Payne here at the 4 as well. Wiggins, they signed Brandon Rush from the Warriors, so he's got some championship experience. Zach LaVine, Shabazz Muhammad. Who knows what Garnett is going to do? He said he wanted to play. Who knows? And you see LaVine, Rubio, Rush, Jones, Dunn. So a loaded backcourt there. So we'll see who makes their way into that rotation. But boy, a lot of young talent for this Minnesota team.
That corner jumper no good by Alec Brown. Loose ball, great hustle by Williams underneath, but it'll come back the other way. Minnesota basketball. Timberwolves 3-3, and there's a look at their new head coach and general manager Tom Thibodeau, erstwhile of the Chicago Bulls. Took a year off and had a chance to visit with various NBA staffs across the league and preparing for USA Basketball's journey to Brazil, which begins in a couple of weeks. Inside Brown off the nice feed by Ulis. Williams from deep. Whoa. He missed everything. You know, I was talking with Alan Williams just a moment ago, and he said he loves playing with Tyler Ulis. has great angles, knows how to get the ball into the bigs, JP.
Yeah, no, great assist guy at Kentucky and trying to carve his way out here in the NBA, as is everybody else in the Summer League.
Hey, let's play with pace. Let's shrink the court. Let's have some fun and communicate. Here we go, fellas. Here we go. Let's go. Wolves on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Ryan Saunders, his voice intoning passionately in the Timberwolves huddle, the son of the late Flip Saunders, former coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves and our colleague at ESPN. Ryan, an assistant on the staff for Coach Thibodeau. Foul called against the Suns. And it's a team that got off to a slow start, but they played well here in the tournament round.
Well, you heard him say play with pace and shrink the floor. Now, shrinking the floor, that's from Tom Thibodeau, because that's all about defense. The pace, that's what I want to see. How does this Minnesota team play? If there was any criticism of the Chicago Bulls and all those teams that Tom Thibodeau had, it was the offense. They really had trouble scoring. So let's see if he incorporates a little bit of pace and they get this thing up and down. They're better offensively, as you see.
One of the great
Ryan,
shots.
Great Flip. What a great guy Flip was, wasn't he? I mean,
you ever see him do those magic tricks that he used to do?
I didn't get to see
He
any
was
of those.
outstanding. He would often entertain some of us with some of his magic tricks.
And he was so fun to work with.
Ryan was telling us it was difficult getting past the first Father's Day, his dad passing away barely a year ago. Williams on the break and a nice finish with the left hand, and Phoenix leading by 5.
Good look from Ulis, right on the money, and a good athletic finish from Williams.
This Phoenix Suns roster and the big team in the midst of a rebuild. Got a lot of University of Kentucky guards on the roster. Nice move up and underneath that time by Devin Thomas. And you look at, wow, Williams, a blur going down the court.
Well, I thought the other finish he had was athletic. That was big time right there. There was really nothing there. Made something out of nothing. Splits two guys, gets the contact, and nice finish.
And that was supposed to be slow motion, folks. He was moving. Troy Williams had 22 along with 6 rebounds yesterday in their last-minute win against Denver. Troy Williams out of Indiana, 6'7" forward. But getting back to the Suns roster, you look at guys in the backcourt, and you start with Bledsoe, who was coming off a knee injury. Brandon Knight, Tyler Ulis, Devin Booker, who was first-team All-Rookie last year. Guess there were no more Kentucky guards to draft, right? Nice move underneath as Ulis turned his head the wrong way, and Jones made him pay for it.
I'm sure Coach Calipari will find another crop as they look forward to next year. He's got a couple guys that have hung around for a couple years, but that's about as best as he can hope for.
Ulis from downtown. Well, the Phoenix Suns feel that they addressed their needs at the 4 spot, at the power forward spot in the last draft, with Marquise Chris and Dragan Bender, both of who are absent today. Chris had a pretty good summer league before shutting it down, going home for personal reasons. A 6'10" 4-man out of Washington. As we look at Earl Watson, the new head coach, who was hired towards the latter part of the season. They took the interim tag off, and Bender not playing because of an ankle injury. There's Ulis up court. Phoenix leading by 4.
Ulis is listed at 5'10", 150 pounds. That's got to be the lightest guy in the NBA, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is.
If he is 150, I don't think he's 150.
Hey, for more on Bender, let's go courtside to Cassidy.
Team about Bender out with that ankle injury. He tweaked it a bit yesterday. It's nothing crazy serious. In fact, he could possibly play tomorrow if that does happen. They are non-committal on that, of course, Mark.
All right, you saw the picture of him with that electronic stim machine on his ankle. Nice finish that time.
Ray Murray.
Ray Murray had a little time with the New York Knicks. Played 51 games with them.
That's some really good moments. Wow, Williams.
Boy, Williams.
This guy's some kind of athlete.
He is going to the basket with bad intentions today.
Man.
Whistle and a foul on the play against Allen Williams.
Russell Westbrook-like, huh? I mean,
yeah,
he's angry at the rim.
Talked about his good game yesterday. Had 22 points in that win against Denver.
You know what I've been impressed with is these teams really want to win. I mean, I like the fact that they made it a tournament for them instead of just playing a bunch of games. These guys were so excited when Ulis makes that 3 yesterday, moving on, and hey, get another couple nights in Vegas.
Yeah, they've averaged about 10,000 or more per night here. And
yeah, the fans, well, the Laker games, they had 16, 17,000
the
other
night. It felt
night.
like a playoff game atmosphere in here. Short drive from here to Los Angeles. Silas on the move, got it.
Nice.
Xavier Silas with a bucket in the game, knotted at 10. Tell you what, Troy Williams is playing with a lot of pace today, JB. That's a big buzzword right now in the NBA, and got to keep an eye on him. Williams going to the free throw line for 2.
Oh, this guy, big time athlete, and you remember the Suns under Mike D'Antoni for all those years, up and down, run and gun. He's now in Houston. See, basically James Harden will take the role that Steve Nash had under Mike D'Antoni and fill some shooting in around that. Anxious to see how Houston does with no Dwight Howard, a totally different look.
Yeah, they signed Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon, a couple of good three-point shooters, very good three-point shooters. Exactly the way they want to play. The lob for Payne a little bit late, but a foul called on the play. That's going to go against the Suns and Cook.